The health department is looking to upgrade its herd immunity target to 90% from 70% as the threat of new COVID-19 variants rage on. Dr. Consorcia Lim-Quizon of the National Immunization Technical Advisory Group, or NITAG, is with us via Zoom to discuss this further. Hi, Doc Conky. Given our current vaccination pace, do you think we can still hit 90% to achieve herd immunity, 90% of the population vaccinated?
Good evening, Sean, and good evening to all the viewers. Yes, the answer there is yes, it is achievable if and when the supply actually holds out. You know, initially we were told that we could target 500,000 jobs per day. And there was a time where we even hit 700,000. So if the issue is, can we do it? I believe we can. However, will the supply last?
All right, so still supply issues, so about 18 months into the pandemic. Now, do you think that the Secretary, Francisco Duque III, was being realistic when he said that herd immunity could actually be achieved by the first quarter of next year or February at the earliest?
I think so. As I said, it just depends on the supply that we have right now. It's hitting 50 million doses, and we would need about more than 100 million doses in order to reach our target. However, let me remind everybody that at the end of the day, the reason why we are vaccinating is really to prevent critical cases, to prevent hospitalization and deaths, and not really to target herd immunity alone.
Right, and having said all of that, Dr. Conky, what is the latest recommendation from the NITAG on the matter of booster shots? You just said there was an issue on supply, so I'm guessing still a no-go for booster shots?
If and when we do consider booster shots or third shots, as the case may be, because different brands of the vaccine will have different duration of immunity, then we are back to really prioritizing. So at the moment, if and when we do consider the third dose or booster shots, then the healthcare workers will be first in line.
All right, and given that there is this threat of new COVID-19 variants, do you see any need at all for health and other vulnerable sectors to get booster shots, at least, or even ahead of, the other members of the population?
We really need to reach our most vulnerable subpopulation. So for me, until and unless we have a very, very good, almost 100% vaccination rate for the elderly and those with comorbidity, then we're not even talking yet about the booster shots, but to protect those who are most at risk of hospitalization and deaths.
Right. Before we move on to a different topic, Dr. Conky, I just wanted to ask, how happy are you with the efficacy of vaccines on the ground here in the Philippines with our, we have several vaccine brands here. Are they performing as well as you expected?
They are performing as well as we are expecting, although, of course, there are some will argue that how come there are 10,000 who were infected when they are fully vaccinated already. As a matter of fact, these are what we are expecting. None of the vaccines actually promised us 100% protection against getting the infection. They said 95 to 97%. Look, if we have vaccinated 10 million people, 1% of that is what? 10,000, right? So, 100,000. So that if we get 10,000 persons who develop the disease despite of being fully vaccinated, then these are actually what we were expecting. And we call them breakthrough infections. But we expected that there will be those who will get the infection even though they are fully vaccinated. But through it all, But really, my short answer is yes. All of the vaccines are performing being effective as well as we expect them to.
All right, that's very comforting to know. I just had to ask you that, especially nowadays with the cases at an all-time high. Now, a slightly different topic, Dr. Conky. Malacanang announced that Metro Manila, or the NCR, will be under GCQ this Wednesday. This is, of course, despite tallying over 20,000 or more cases in the last how many days. Of course, there will be granular lockdowns to support the GCQ. What is your reaction on this?
You know, Sean, for me, regardless of what Q, at the end of the day, it's really kanya-kanyang laban. You know, the fight is at the individual level on how we protect ourselves and do our share and practice minimum public health standards. Even the vaccines, that's not a magic bullet that we can say, I'm vacunado, I will be protected. We need ourselves to practice all of the minimum public health standards. That's the only way that we can say we are protected regardless of the kind of quarantine that either the local or the national governments will put us under.
Right, still self-discipline and cooperation for now and for the indefinite amount of time in the future. Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us. Dr. Consorcia Lim-Quizon of NITAG. Thank you, Doc.
Stay safe.